Why can't we hear everyone? Oh, because everyone's muted.
Corbin, Zupan, Walters, Moses,
Here.
Jones, Walrod,
Here.
Schwartz, Goldstein,
Here.
Veronica, Norelli,
Here.
Bono,
Here.
Cunningham, Stokes,
Here.
Stefanski,
Here.
Becker,
Here.
Kavanaugh,
Here.
Roberts,
Here.
Maglioka.
Here.
Okay, we're missing Schwartz and. Hmm? $1,200 eyes. 1264.
Approval of minutes, need a motion for approval of minutes. Motion by Mr. Roberts, seconded by Ms. Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, communication reports of committees.
None.
Okay, we'll go right into first resolution. Is in respect to the death of Joe Ostrander. Everybody knows that Joe has been a city supervisor from the city of Oneida. Joe's been a sitting supervisor from the city of Oneida, and about 6 months ago, Joe became ill, and he passed away the other day, and that's why the flowers are there and the picture of Joe. Joe will certainly be missed by this board. He gave a lot. He contributed a lot. Joe wasn't, he always listened to everybody and made up his own mind and did a great job. Anybody else wants to say anything they can? Joe will certainly be missed here.
Mr. Chairman, I got to know Joe a little bit outside as well because he was a Mason and my dad was a Mason as well. And I had a lot of the different things that my dad had as a Mason, and Joe and I talked about those things, and I ended up giving those things to Joe, and we talked about each of those things, and it brought back good memories of my dad as well. And so that was a good way to get to know somebody through other things. He'll be missed.
Mr. Walrod.
Chairman, I had the pleasure of serving with Joe on the Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee. And it wasn't just the meetings that Joe contributed to. He called me up several times and we talked about different issues that would develop, and he was engaged. He was committed. I enjoyed getting to know Joe and appreciate the service.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Okay, we have to approve the resolution, so who's putting it forward? Mary? Yes, Mary, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, it's with great sadness and respect that I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution
I
has been
second it.
made, seconded by
second.
Ms. Norelli. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Our prayers certainly go out to Joe's family and for Joe to rest in peace. Well, and we also, we don't have a proclamation here yet. We're gonna do it at our next meeting. We'll be meeting again on the 30th. Mayor Leo Matsky passed away. Public servant for the city of Oneida, and we'll have a moment of silence for both Joe and Leo.
No, over there. On your side is Leo's.
Okay, we did the proclamation. Okay. Yep, we have a proclamation for Leo's family also. So let's take a moment of silence for both Joe and Leo. Okay, thank you. Okay, we gotta do, where is that one?
It's right there.
Okay, next we have a proclamation recognizing the extraordinary achievement of the Cannastone Field Hockey Team. The Madison County Board of Supervisors recognizes outstanding achievements by group and organizations. The Cannastone High School Varsity Field Hockey Team, known as the Lady Raiders, led by Coach Amanda Mitchell and her staff, represented their school and bring home their first Section 3 Class C Field Hockey Championship in 27 years on November 3rd, becoming a regional finalist. In addition, Cannastone seniors Sophie Clancy and Chance Jaquin and junior Breach Shaw were 3 of 15 field hockey players chosen as New York State Section All-Stars of this past session. This team exemplifies what can be achieved through constant hard work, dedication, perseverance, leadership, and teamwork. All of Madison County is proud of the achievement these young women and their coaches have brought up to their school and their community in the spirit of competition and sportsmanship. Be resolved that the Madison County Board of Supervisors recognizes the exceptional talent, dedication, and achievement of the 2021 Cannastone Field Hockey Team. We have that proclamation also. Okay.
Do you want to read Leo's, or are we good? Do you want to read Leo's proclamation, or are we good?
We're good. No, we're good.
So next we're going to do unfinished business.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go
Okay,
ahead.
we have unfinished business next.
Okay, resolution 21-577, amending the rules of the Madison County Board of Supervisors, which was tabled last meeting by Supervisor Moses and seconded by Supervisor Walrod. Discussion.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, retirees.
Resolution for appreciation, retiree recognition, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Bono. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay, next we have Sheriff, you want to come up? David Case from 1992 to 2021. Dave here, Sheriff?
No, he's not. I'll accept it on his behalf, though. Thank you. Yep, Dave couldn't make it here today. I'll give this to him. Thank you very much for this. He served 28 or 29 years in our agency, and he was in charge of the outdoor recreation detail over at the jail. So every day he was out, rain, snow, every type of weather you could imagine. So he'll definitely be missed in our office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, resolutions for preferred agenda. We'll start with Government Operations Committee. Resolution number 2, in respect to the death of William Matthews. Number 3, authorizing agreement with Park Strategies. Number 4, modifying contract approval in the county contract policy and procedures. Number 5, amending the non-representative employees in job titles in the Police Benevolent Association bargaining unit and for special patrol officers' policies and procedures. Number 6, designating newspapers for 2022. Number 7, endorsing Madison County Shared Services Plan. Number 8, authorizing a stipend increase for deputy fire coordinators. Number 9, appointing a budget officer and a deputy budget officer. Number 10, authorizing a one-time stipend for Munis upgrade implementation. 11, authorizing the health plan administrator to secure stop loss coverage. 12, amending policy number 45 of the Madison County HIPAA high-tech compliance policies and procedures manual. 13, approving a video recording policy. 14, authorizing a renewal agreement with MVP Healthcare. 15, revising the Madison County Management Compensation Plan salary plan. 16, establishing the salaries of county officers and managerial confidential employees for 2022. 17, acknowledging the introduction of proposed local law 5 of 21 and calling for a public hearing fixing salaries for 2022. 18, removing the renewing stipends for on-call system and certain county managers. And 19, authorizing out-of-state conference for the sheriff, and there's a corrected date on the bottom, which is today's date, the 16th.
Okay, I would like to, do we have to do it in the form of a motion to pull one of these out and vote on it separate, or we just do that? Okay, I want to pull out number 2 in respect to the death of Bill Matthews. Bill Matthews, we all know, was the CEO of Oneida Limited, and he served on this board for 2 years. I don't know, Rocky, did you serve with him? Okay, and I think, Matt, you have anything you want to say about Bill?
Sure. Bill was probably one of the most prominent people in the city of Oneida. Things that he did for the company and for people, give them good jobs and kept Oneida Limited, brought them back from a very tough time in the 1980s. Through the last golden age, I would say, from 1986 to 1996. He drove his red pickup truck every day to work. And when he traded it in, he bought another red pickup truck. So he drove the same truck for the 25 years I knew him. And 2-door short box step side pickup. Yeah. And he was just a great man, and he will be sorely missed. His kids were great kids. His wife's a great person also. So,
Well, we certainly thank his family and him for his service, and our prayers go out to his family also. So,
Mr. Chairman,
John. Yes,
could we pull out number 3 too? Because I have to abstain on that one.
yes. Okay, so number 2, what do we have to do? So all in favor of number 2 with in respect to the death of Bill Matthews, all in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, number 3.
John, I have a question, if I
Yeah.
could ask. What did we pay Park Strategies last year?
Same amount.
Same amount, hasn't changed? Okay, thank you.
So do we need a second on these? Or a motion? Okay,
Separate
so-
ones, the
Okay,
separate
so
ones,
I need a
Joe.
motion for this. Motion by Ms. Kavanaugh, second by Mr. Walrod. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
And
one
one
abstention.
exception.
Yep. Yeah, we know all about that.
Okay,
Okay, now we're gonna vote.
now we're going back to the preferred agenda, Government Operations Committee, minus those 2 resolutions.
4 through 19.
Yep. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mrs. Norelli. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schwartz,
Yes,
Goldstein,
Yes.
Veronica, Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, oops, he's absent. Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan,
Yes.
Walters, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
1,403 ayes.
Carried.
Okay, I gotta find my sheet. Next, we have Finance, Ways and Means Committee. Resolution number 20, authorize the chairman and the clerk to sign, seal, and deliver tax warrants for 2022. Number 21, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for fire training facility. 22, authorizing a modification of the 21 budget for the vets building. And 23, modifying the 21 budget non-departmental revenue nation payment. Yvonne Norelli, Chairwoman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption, please.
Resolution is made. I have a second. Second by Mr. Bono. Is there any discussion? Lauren, did you want to ask about that one? Okay. All right. Is there any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Goldstein,
Yes.
Veronica, Norelli,
Aye.
Bono, Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski, Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin, Zupan, Walters, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
1,403 ayes.
Carried.
Next, we have the A and O Committee, Administration Oversight Committee, Resolution number 24, Acceptance Central Service Printing Rates for Nonprofit Organizations within Madison County. And 25, Amending the Purchasing Policy and Procedures, Dave Jones, Chairman, Administration Oversight Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
D. Veronica, Norelli, Bono, Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Walters, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod, Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes.
1,403 ayes.
Carried.
Next, we have Health and Human Services Committee. Resolution 26, authorizing agreement with Family Counseling Services of Cortland County. 27, authorizing agreement with Communication Services for Sign Language Services. 28 is pulled at this time. Number 29, authorizing modification of the 21 budget for the Gorman Building. 30, authorizing agreement with McCarthy and Conlon. And 31, authorizing agreement with Wanderers Rest for Dog Shelter Services. Alex Stepanski, Chairman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of these resolutions.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Second by Mr. Goldstein. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Norelli, Bono, Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski.
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Maglioka.
Aye.
Corbin. Zupan. Walters. Moses.
Yes.
Jones. Walrod.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Goldstein.
Yes.
D. Veronica. 1,403 ayes.
Carried.
Okay, next we have the Planning Committee, and I just wanted to point out that I placed the two committees, Planning and Public Utility Services, together and grouped them in together. So I'll need both of the chairs of those committees to introduce their resolutions when I finish calling them out. Planning Committee and Public Utility Services, Resolution 32, appointing members to the Madison County Tourism Board. 33, appointing members to the Soil and Water Conservation District Board, and you have it's a new 33, it's sitting on your desk. It says it on the top corner, new 33. 34, excuse me,
That's okay. I'll wait.
the change, a different, they took Doug
The
Holdridge.
changes, Mr. Holdridge is coming off and Mrs. Norelli is going on.
So it's not Jim Cunningham.
No,
No.
Jim's still on there.
Okay, all right, okay. But it's Norelli instead of Holdridge.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Number 34, authorizing agreement with ECC Technologies. 35, that's for 2021. 35 is authorizing agreement with ECC Technologies for 2022. And 36 is authorizing the modification of the 21 budget contingent fund from municipal utilities. So we have Cliff Moses, Chairman Planning, and Yvonne Schwartz, Chairman MC Plus Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Okay, thank you.
Mr.
Public
Chairman,
utilities.
I move the other three resolutions for adoption.
Okay. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Jones. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by
No.
vote. No, roll call.
Bono,
Sorry, everybody.
Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Walters, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes.
D. Veronica,
Aye.
Norelli.
I tried to call out, but I need to abstain
Oh.
from resolution 33.
Oh, that's right, because you're voting, you're, okay. So,
Cliff voted for himself for tourism.
It's okay.
yeah, so you can vote for yourself.
Really?
You're okay.
So,
You're fine.
All right. All right, there you go.
I think we've done that before too.
Aye.
Okay, 1,403 ayes.
Carried.
Back to where I was. Okay, next we have Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee. Number 37, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for Clockville Water District. 38, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for the highway facility. 39, authorizing an agreement with the towns in Madison County. And 40, authorizing supplemental agreement with CNS companies for additional construction inspection services. Ron Bono, Chairman, Highway Buildings and Grounds.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Stepanski. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Walters,
Aye.
Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes,
Veronica, Norelli, Bono. 1,403 ayes.
Carried.
Okay, next we have Solid Waste Committee. Number 41, expressing the county's intent to participate in local community cleanup programs for 2022 and authorizing agreements to accept alternative daily cover materials. Jim Goldstein, Chairman, Solid Waste Recycling Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mrs. Norelli. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Walters, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes,
Veronica, Norelli,
Aye.
Bono, and Stokes.
Aye.
1,403 ayes.
Carried.
Now we move to regular resolutions, regular agenda. Resolution number 43, authorize the chairman to enter into an agreement with Motorola Solutions for Spillman Flex Computer Aided Dispatch and Records Management System. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee.
Mr. Chairman, this, I just want to bring attention to this resolution. It came after years of efforts, and it is just under the cost of $1 million. It's a big step forward, and it's really the hub of all our emergency response in the county. And I'd like to thank the Sheriff's Office and ADA Mascari and Frank McFall and Dan DeGear for the work, and Dan's team on the work that they've put together on this, as well as the Criminal Justice Committee in support of the board. It's a big step forward for us, and those of you know that it's a long time coming. And I'm pleased to move this resolution for adoption.
A resolution is made, seconded by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
aye,
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Okay, resolution number 44, authorizing the modification of the 2022 adopted county budget. Yvonne Norelli, Chairwoman, Finance Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption, please.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin, Zupan, Walters, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
yes,
Veronica,
Aye.
Norelli,
Aye.
Bono,
Yes.
Stokes,
Aye.
Stefanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
1,403 ayes.
Okay. Next, we're going to hear from our Public Health Commissioner, Eric Feist.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this. As you are already well aware, Madison County, like every other county in New York State, is experiencing a rise in COVID cases. This increase was to be expected, and as more people move indoors for the weather and with the holidays that bring family and friends together. As of this afternoon, we have 373 active cases. On this same date last year, we had 413 cases. We peaked at about 421 cases on January 8th. So I expect that we will continue to see cases rises into the beginning of the new year. As with last year, this level of active cases puts a strain on the health department's capacity to respond and to engage in public health activities that are necessary to protect the health and well-being of our residents. As the public health director, I believe strongly that vaccinations represent our best defense against COVID and its variants. Wearing a mask, social distancing, washing your hands, staying home when sick, avoiding large gatherings, all provide additional layers of protection and still remain important practices that everyone can carry out. I and my department will continue to strongly encourage that everyone get vaccinated if they are medically able, and to practice these simple things so that you can lower your risk for infection. In regards to the state mandate and the subsequent resolutions the board has before them, allow me to provide you some additional information for you to consider. Last Friday, December 10th, the governor announced that effective this Monday, this 13th, masks will be required to be worn in all indoor public places unless businesses or venues implement a vaccine requirement. As you may recall, last year on April 12th, 2020, then Governor Cuomo mandated face coverings for public and private employees interacting with the public. The current mandate obviously is somewhat different because of the vaccine requirement. We didn't have vaccines last year when that mandate went into effect. You may also remember that Madison County did carry out enforcement activities in response to the 2020 mandate. However, the situation in which these mandates were issued are dramatically different. And it's in these differences that create our current challenges. First, in April 2020, the mandate applied to only essential businesses. All other types of businesses and venues were closed at that time. The malls, sporting events, large gatherings, and other non-essential businesses. The 2021 mandate applies to, and I quote, any indoor space that is not a private residence, end quote. Now, aside from the fact that I'm not exactly sure what type of businesses and venues that applies to, it clearly applies to considerably more entities than the previous mandate. In April 2020, when the first mandate was issued, Madison County hit 31 active cases. The new mandate was issued when our caseload was 12 times higher. In 2020, my department had a list of over 100 volunteers that we could draw from to assist our staff in contact tracing and other activities, or help free up my staff to carry out these activities. Our current list of volunteers is under 10. The reduction in volunteers is mainly due to the fact that many of them return to their own jobs once their places of employment reopened. A considerable amount of staff time is involved with contact tracing, case investigations, and the follow-up activities such as issuing release orders. We've hired additional staff to help, as well as utilize the state's contact tracing employees to their maximum availability. We also pull staff from other departments and staff from divisions within the department, such as our environmental health staff, to help with these isolation and quarantine activities. I mentioned the environmental health staff specifically because they were the staff we used to enforce the 2020 mandate. Even with resources we have, as of yesterday, we were over 150 cases behind in our contact tracing and case investigation activities. We do have a couple of county employees, some medical reserve corps volunteers, and community volunteers that help. And I am extremely grateful for them and the work that they do. And I want to give them a quick shout out for their help. In April 2020, there was no vaccination clinics. There was no vaccine. The testing activities were coordinated through a partnership with Upstate Medical and Essentia Home Care Agency, whose staff came on site at various locations in Madison County to provide the testing. In 2021, my department staff is conducting testing twice a week. The same staff, when not testing or contact tracing, are also conducting vaccination clinics on a weekly basis. Now, other non-clinical department staff and volunteers assist with both our testing and vaccination efforts. In 2020, the state established a system that would allow individuals to anonymously submit complaints about businesses that were non-compliant with the mask mandate. That system does not exist at current. Also in 2020, the New York State Liquor Authority agents conducted enforcement activities in parallel to what counties were doing. I'm not aware of any state agency that will be involved with the enforcement of the current mandate. Similar to the 2020 mandate, the current mandate and its limited guidance materials put out by the state do not clarify or define what enforcement is or how it should be carried out. Without clear guidance from the state, counties are left to develop their own approach to enforce or not, similar to what happened in 2020. This resulted in considerable confusion and frustration felt by our residents and businesses. In our normal regulatory activities, the state prescribes what enforcement entails. For example, restaurant inspections are conducted through in-person, unannounced visits at least twice a year, depending on their associated risks. And then we have a set of specific things we look for during the inspection. Post-inspection, there are enforcement activities such as issuing citations, collecting fines, and even administrative hearing process, should a business challenge the citation. If an administrative hearing process is requested, the county has to arrange for the hearing, which includes getting a hearing officer to hear the case. The hearing process takes several weeks to arrange and to carry out. Part of what the administrative hearing process looks at is whether or not the county followed the proper protocols and procedures for properly inspecting and issuing the citation. Without clear guidance from the state regarding these processes and protocols, this could affect the outcome of any hearing that we have. Another aspect of enforcement pertains to our authority over the businesses or venue. For those in which we have regulatory authority, such as restaurants, should they fail to pay a fine or correct the problem, we have the ability to pull their operating permits and close them. For the majority of the entities under this new mandate, we do not have that option. They could ignore the fine without any recourse. Additionally, when a citation is challenged, it requires involvement of the county attorney's office and her staff and their resources, in addition to the county health department staff. In 2020, we implemented a 3-step enforcement process that involved outreach and education, initial warnings, subsequent visit and inspection, and if the violation was observed during the inspection, it could result in a fine. Given the different environment in which the new mandate finds itself, enforcement per se would be extremely difficult. This does not mean that we don't do anything. My office is and continues and will be sending out materials to the affected businesses and venues, one, to educate them on the mandate and help them interpret this implementation. We are providing them with materials such as posters and signage that they can put up in their places of employment. And we stand ready to assist them in any way that we can to facilitate their efforts to comply. Interestingly enough, in an email from the state to the local health departments that we received this past Monday, the state, I believe, has seemingly grasped or appears to have grasped the enormity of what their mandate requires. Within the email, the state notes the following: "We do expect this protocol," and I quote, "we do expect this protocol to be largely self-enforcing. It is our expectation that New Yorkers will understand the importance of following this requirement as we continue through the holiday season, where the surge in cases is expected to persist." Also within that quote, local health departments can enforce these requirements if they choose to pursue enforcement. I strongly concur with the statement that self-enforcement is a large aspect of this mandate and must be. Outreach and education was also stressed by the state as being key to the effectiveness of this mandate. For almost 2 years now, since this pandemic started, health department staff have worked 7 days a week and most holidays, and we will continue to do so. Aside from the exhaustion that comes with the ongoing daily work, my staff is subject to daily verbal abuse and harassment from residents, from businesses, and from people that don't even live or are from Madison County. Over the past several months, this abuse has gotten harsher and more frequent. This abuse is mentally draining, even more so because it's coming from the very people that we're trying to protect and keep well. I am concerned for the health and well-being of my staff And I'm especially concerned for their health and safety should we be required to send them out to inspect and enforce this mandate. Please excuse my bluntness, but I will not put my staff's health and safety in harm's way. I strongly believe that vaccinations and masking are effective, and the science supports that. I will continue to encourage our residents and businesses to adhere to and support these requirements and practices and make every effort to facilitate their use. Since the beginning of this year, our emphasis has been on getting people vaccinated, and it continues to be the focus. Registration for our vaccination clinics and testing events continue to fill up, and we continue our efforts to make vaccine available to any resident who wants one. And we will, and we have, and will continue to put out our messages to our residents about the 3 Ws. Wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distancing. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Okay. So we're on to our resolution. So
Yeah.
45.
Okay, resolution number 45 and 46 have some changes, and I think Supervisor Zupan, 45 is yours.
Use your mic. You just want
Yes,
full
I would
40.
like to pull number 45 and have an amended number 45 for the board to consider.
Mary?
I'd
you're
like
on
to, I'd like to
46?
pull number 46, please.
Okay, 45 and 46 are both pulled, and Supervisor Zupan will be passing out a new resolution.
Is this the one that Mark emailed?
Yes.
So I have a copy of it. I'm all set.
I got one.
Yeah, I also I also have a copy that Mark emailed me, so you don't need to screen share for me at this point.
TJ, I sent you also, and I have a screen share for, we have members of the public that are on the
Sure,
Zoom. So
absolutely. Yep.
Yep, I'm all set.
All good? Okay, we have one public comment on this. It's Jamie Warner from Cannastone.
Nope.
To the mic, Jamie.
Do I have to make it?
What's that?
Do you need a motion first?
Yeah, okay, hold on one second. Yep. Well, the resolution, he's got to introduce a resolution. I got a second, then I can ask for comments. So, yep, go ahead, Bill.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution was made, seconded by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion? Okay, Jamie.
How you doing? My name is Jamie Warner. I'm here representing the Snowmobile community. I'm also a director for Madison County Snowmobile Association. We have, which you guys sponsor, 8 clubs through Madison County. We had a meeting. We discussed this deal about the mask and everything also. You've got approximately 10,000 voters that ride snowmobiles, and they support John Becker and the statement that he made. And we'd just like to make the statement that we stand behind him 100%. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Okay. Roll call, please.
Okay, hold on a second, John. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to follow on the, I would like to make a comment or discuss the agenda. The resolution, the proposed resolution is I think a good compromise that has come out over the last few days in the discussion that's taken place in the community. I want to commend every supervisor who's been involved in working on this to try to find a compromise, and thank Mark as well. And also to thank Eric Feist for giving such a comprehensive perspective on where we are with the pandemic and the county health department's efforts to contain it. I think that we need to keep on coming together as a community and working together. And I think this is a step in the right direction. My only concern, I think, is we need, as a board of supervisors, to remember that we can't speak without conversing with each other and reaching consensus. And this is the process that we should have gone through. And I'm glad we did go through that. And I will support this revised resolution. Thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Walters, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes.
Veronica, Norelli,
Aye.
Bono,
Yes.
Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
1,403 ayes.
Carried. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to thank the whole Board of Supervisors. I know I talked to most of you, and even though you sometimes didn't agree with my stance, we had very thoughtful comments, and I took them into consideration. And after working through this whole process, I think my resolution is 100 times better than it was on Monday. So I want to thank everybody.
Okay, so now we have 47.
We're gonna do the video before we do the resolutions.
No, let's do the resolutions first and then we'll do the
Okay.
video. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do a presentation for our outgoing supervisors. We'll start with the resolutions. Resolution number 47, resolution of appreciation, board member recognition for Charles Walters, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution has been made, second by Mr. Zupan. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 48, resolution of appreciation, board member recognition for James Goldstein, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second by Mr. Jones? Is there any discussion?
I'd like to second it as well.
All in favor signify by voting aye.
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 Okay. Resolution number 49, resolution of appreciation, board member recognition for Yvonne Norelli, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Stepanski. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 50, resolution of appreciation, board member recognition for Rocco DeVeronica, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution has been made, seconded by Mr. Maglioka. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
And last but not least, resolution appreciation for board member recognition for Ron Bono, Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution has been made, seconded by Mr. Walrod. He's back there waving like a kid in a candy store.
Could I just say that when I knew Ron for many years as our insurance agent, enjoyed working with him. And when I was considering running for the Board of Supervisors, Ron encouraged me to do so, and I have not forgiven him since.
Okay, anybody else?
Yes, me, please. Supervisor Goldstein, I just want to thank you for all of your help and working with you over the last 4 years on the Solid Waste Committee. Your knowledge and experience and the history that went along with it, I feel was invaluable for solid waste, Madison County, and my own township of Lincoln. So thank you very much.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Jim, we miss you being here. So, all right. Anybody else? Yes, Rocky. Use your mic.
Mike.
Turn your mic on.
Okay. It's been a pleasure for me to serve this county for 30 years. I've enjoyed myself. Last 4 years, not so much. But actually, I enjoyed the supervisors. I got a throat. I gotta have a drink. I enjoyed very much being supervisor for the town and also the county. We've accomplished a lot of things through the years. Starting in 1988 to date. I've lost 4 years in between, but we came back. And basically, I want to thank the board and the people serving on the boards for many years. And I've gone through a lot of them. There's nobody been here as long as me and Alex, but he wasn't even here when I got here. Everybody, and wait, Cindy was here.
Cindy's been here throughout it all.
So basically, it's been a good run for me, and I'm going on my retirement, and I hope everybody has a good life. Thank you, and happy holidays.
Cindy's like Mother Nature.
Mr. Chairman, I would like.
Yes, Jim.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to say something to Mr. DeVeronica, since he and I got to sit together for a while and served on some committees together. I think you had an amazing career. And ironically, I remember when you first ran for supervisor against a previous individual who was having some issues. And I admire your persistence by coming back and getting reelected this last time.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
I'd
Ron.
like to thank Rocky for all his years of service to Madison County. It's like a long time, and he's certainly done a lot. And I also want to thank Madison County for educating me and giving me the opportunity to be here. I certainly enjoyed coming, and I certainly learned a lot. And there's a lot that the citizens should know about how well Madison County is ran and the great people we have here.
Thank you, Ron. Good. Yes, sir. Mr. Walters.
I also would like to thank the board and the chairman for the opportunity. While I came to this position under not the best circumstances in the world, due to the death of Fred Lawrence, who was a dear, dear friend of mine, I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to do this. What you might not know is I was asked twice before to serve on this board, and I turned that opportunity down both times. After learning what I've learned in the last year and a half, although I have not been as active as I really wish I had been, I kind of wish that I had said yes to a couple of times ago. So thank you for the opportunity to serve my community and to serve the county of Madison. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Yes, Mrs. Norelli.
I thought we were saving it till the end, but so I wanted to take the time to thank all of you around the horseshoe, the different department heads, and many of the employees of Madison County, and they keep us going. And a special thanks to previous Vice Chairman Dan DeGear, our County Administrator Mark Simone, and our Chairman John Becker. Without the three of you, my first year would have been absolutely disastrous. So I thank you for all of your help and your education. And then last but not least, although today is bittersweet, I wish I was staying. I am very happy, and for all of you around the horseshoe, working with you and taking a lot of education from all of you. And it was a pleasure. And to quote Assemblyman Salka, it has been an honor to serve with you and for Madison County and for my township, Lincoln. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
I just wish you hadn't have brought up Dan DeGear. His head just went like this. Oh, my God. Yeah, Rocky. Mhm.
Do you remember that at all, Cindy?
Yes.
Our former treasurer said, you can't do it. I says, why not? We don't have the money. I said, we're gonna do it anyway. So we did it. And here's been there for 20 years probably or longer. So I'm pleased that when you guys look at that, remember that I had it there. Thank you.
Alex. Yep.
Just want to thank Rocky also, when he came here as a young 61-year-old 20 years ago. And he and John Gladney sat over here for quite a few of those years. And Walt Jakeway from Hamilton were three gentlemen who, as Yvonne said, helped a lot and got me through that first term when you don't have any idea what's going on. And here I am starting my 11th term next January. So thank you.
Well, I know it's hard to believe, Alex, but you and I are the two old guys on the board now. You're the longest, I'm the second longest. Yeah, you are. That's true. Yeah, as of the first, right. Yeah. Yeah. No, we won't. So,
Chairman, I'd like to thank all five of them for their services, no
Yes.
matter how many years it was. And
I'll second that. Thank you very much.
And now I want to thank,
Yeah. Yep.
thanks Samantha.
This reminds me of a tie straightening party. Okay, so. I
I want to thank Samantha Field and Matt Ertz for putting this video together, along with Emily and Christine and the rest of the staff. You're really going to enjoy it. Chairman, if you want to add anything before the video
Nope,
starts.
go ahead.
All right.
I thank everybody. And
Today, Madison County says goodbye to 5 supervisors who combined served close to 70 years in the county and their local communities.
Where are we?
We would like to thank these supervisors for their dedication, passion, and time. Charles Walters stepped in as the DeRuyter supervisor following the death of Frederick Lawrence in October of 2020. He served on the Public Utility Services Committee and the Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee. It is not always easy to fill into the role like supervisor when it is unplanned. Thank you, Chuck, for doing so. Yvonne Norelli was first elected in 2017 and has served as the Town of Lincoln supervisor for the last 4 years. She was the second female supervisor for the Town of Lincoln, and during her tenure served as vice chairwoman of the Administration and Oversight Committee and the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee. Norelli also served as the chairwoman of the Finance, Ways and Means Committee. Ronald Bono was first elected as supervisor for the Town of Madison in 2007. He has served continuously for the past 14 years, making him the 4th longest tenured supervisor in the history of the Town of Madison. Throughout his time as supervisor, he worked on a number of projects in his town, which included the renovation of the town offices and creation of a records retention room. He worked to create a replacement policy for the highway equipment and added a law enforcement drop box. He also worked to bring more businesses to his community, like the Stewart's Convenience Mart and the Family Dollar. Bono worked to continue the development of Lake Moraine, a new playground, and was instrumental in the development of wind districts for turbines. For Madison County, Bono served on the Government Operations Administration and Oversight Committee, as well as the Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee. Bono served as the chairman of Highway and Buildings and Grounds for 9 years. The renovation of the county courthouse and the building of the brand new state-of-the-art highway garage in Eaton were all under Bono's chairmanship. He will be missed around the Horseshoe, but also at Madison Antique Weeks in the summer. James Goldstein was first elected as supervisor for the Town of Lebanon in 2001. He has served continuously for 20 years, the 2nd longest tenured supervisor in the history of the Town of Lebanon. He served on the Health and Human Services Committee, the Social and Mental Health Services Committee, the Criminal Justice, Public Safety and Telecommunications Committee, and the Ad Hoc Energy Committee. Goldstein served as the vice chair of the Health and Human Services Committee and the Social and Mental Health Committee. and for the past 10 years, he has served as the chairman of the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee. Goldstein has always been an outspoken leader when it comes to conservation. He testified in Albany to the State Environmental Conservation Committee on behalf of the Association of Towns at the first state hearing on the proposed regulations on high-volume hydraulic fracturing. And he has pushed to expand our recycling efforts here in Madison County through the R-Park, plastics to oil research, and the plastic bag ban, and much more. In the town of Lebanon, he helped develop a successful equipment replacement program, road repair program, expanded snow and ice removal, and instituted hazard mitigation projects that reduced flooding. He also has worked to increase agritourism and farm-to-market projects, as well as bring high-speed internet development to the rural communities. Rocky DeVeronica was the first elected in 1987, serving from 1988 till 2013. He was elected a second time in 2018. Combined, that is 30 years, making him the longest tenured supervisor in the history of the town of Lenox and tied for the second longest tenured supervisor in the history of Madison County. Rocky was instrumental in the town of Lenox in the development of the rail trail, the Cannastone Skate Park, and Clark Park's World War II Memorial. He also worked to continue the growth of the Cannastone Business Park, the Medical Center on Center Street, and worked to extend the sewer lines on Route 31 to near Oneida Lake. DeVeronica served on the Public Utility Services Committee, the Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee, the Administration Oversight Committee, Planning Committee, Economic Development, and Long Range Planning Committees. Not only was Rocky a town supervisor, he also served as the chairman of the Madison County Board of Supervisors from 2000 to 2007. DeVeronica also served 2 terms as president of the New York State Association of Counties from 2005 to 2007, and on the New York State Canal Recreation Way Trail Commission. We here at Madison County will miss the knowledge that Rocky brings to the horseshoe, his stories, and his one-handed push-ups. To all of our supervisors that leave us today, we wish you all the best.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, there's refreshments in the room next door, and with that,
Everybody?
we need a motion to adjourn, but we will be meeting again on the 30th. Cindy will be sending something out, so I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mrs. Norelli, seconded by Ms. Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
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 I'm gonna do like David Letterman. It's done.